Hi. One thing that really helps us out in the study of trigonometry and something we need to know is our 16-point standard unit circle. And 16-point unit circle is comprised essentially of different things we need to know. Here we have degrees in blue from 0 to 360. In red we have radians, pi over 6, pi over 4, pi over 3, pi over 2, and so on. And on the perimeter, the points themselves, 16 of them, with the x and y coordinates, the x coordinates representing the cosine at that point, the y coordinates representing the sine value at that point. And one thing that I've developed to help remember and know and understand the unit circle is this unit circle t-shirt. The unit circle t-shirt has the standard unit circle that you see here, and on its back, and here you may be able to see, we have 5 numbers that help describe. And I'm going to go over right now how to use these 5 numbers that should be easy to remember to get the coordinates for the 5 points in and attached to the first quadrant of that unit circle. The first thing we do is we take our numbers here and we insert little commas in between each one of these pairs of digits. The next thing we do is we put divided by 2 underneath each one of the digits. Divided by 2. So we have each of these digits divided by 2. And then what we do is we take the square root, the radical, and place them over each one of these 10 digits. And now we analyze. Here at the far right at 0 degrees and at 0 radians, we have the cosine value is the square root of 4 over 2. Well, what's the square root of 4? Well, it's 2. And what is 2 over 2? 2 over 2 is 1. So our cosine value is 1, and our sine value is square root of 0 over 2, which is 0. So we have 1 comma 0 as the coordinate pair for the first point on the unit circle. Next, we come up to 30 degrees, also known as pi over 6, and we have as our cosine value square root of 3 over 2, and then as our sine value square root of 1 over 2. Well, what's the square root of 1 over 2? Well, that's simply 1/2. So we have square root of 3 over 2 comma 1/2 for our coordinate pair and our second point in our standard unit circle. Now we go up to our third point, and that's going to represent angle 45 degrees, or pi over 4. And here we can just leave the coordinate pair in the same condition, square root of 2 over 2, comma square root of 2 over 2, which represent the cosine and sine of this third point in the unit circle. Coming up to the fourth point, we have, that will be 60 degrees. And then our radian measure is going to be pi over 3, and square root of 1 over 2 simplifies to 1/2. So our cosine value is 1/2 here, and our sine value is going to be square root of 3 over 2. So there's our fourth point in the unit circle. And finally, at the top of the unit circle, which will be 90 degrees, rotated up from the right, will be pi over 2. And square root of 0 is 0, so we have 0, comma, square root of 4 over 2 is 1. So cosine of 0, sine of 1. And then once we find these 5 points on the unit circle, we can use reflective properties about the x and the y axis to get the remainder. And I'm just going to go one more as we go another 30 degrees over here to 120 degrees on the unit circle. That's going to be 2 pi over 3. And as far as what the coordinate is, what we have to do is our cosine value of 1/2 is going to be on the other side of that y-axis. So we're going to have negative 1/2. Okay, that's negative 1/2 right there. Let me go ahead and write this a little more clearly. So we have negative 1/2, comma, and the sine value is the same, so square root of 3 over 2. And we can use the principles of reflection likewise to find all the 16 points of the unit circle. So I hope this is helpful to you. I'm going to try to have links to other related videos at the margins of this video here. Thanks for viewing.